Hello and welcome. I'm Carrie of Firefly Community, here to take you through a Yoga to Thrive class. Yoga to Thrive takes multiple styles of yoga, such as vinyasa, yin yoga, and self-awakening yoga, and brings them together in one practice to help you build body awareness, flexibility and mobility, strength, and balance. This practice is designed to help keep you active as you age and keep you injury-free and mobile. A couple things that you'll need for practice today. It's always nice to have either a blanket or maybe a pillow available for if you need to pad your knees or for a couple of the more yin style poses that we'll be taking. And then today you will definitely need a yoga block, or if you don't have a yoga block, you might want to have a good, solid, hard, kind of wide book to stand on. And without further ado, let's get started on our backs. A big part of Yoga to Thrive is body awareness. So we'll start with a body scan by lying in Shavasana. So when you lie down onto your back, take a moment to tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, reach your arms down by your sides with your palms up. Let your legs fall however feels natural. Let your head rest onto your mat with your gaze up at the ceiling. And you can close your eyes here if that feels appropriate for you in this moment. And we'll start our body scan from our feet. So just take a moment to notice the soles of your feet, how your feet naturally fall. Do they rotate more internally or externally? Do your toes kind of fall out or in? Notice your heels against your mat. And start to move up your legs. Notice the backs of your legs touching your mat. How are your lower legs feeling? How are your upper legs? How are your knees today? Feel your hips on your mat, nice and heavy. You might even shift your hips down a little bit to lengthen your spine a bit more. Notice your torso. And bring your awareness to your hands. What surface is the back of your hands touching? Notice your palms, your open palms. Notice your fingers. Do they tend to curl in a bit? Notice your wrists. Bring your awareness to your lower arms, your elbows, and then your upper arms. Notice your shoulders, nice and heavy on your mat. You might even tuck your shoulder blades underneath you a little bit more so you feel more supported. Notice the weight of your head. As you bring your awareness to your head, you might just gently rock your head a little bit side to side. Move really slowly. How does your neck feel today? After you've rolled your head a bit side to side, bring your head back to center, to a neutral position. Then reach through your fingertips and then shrug your shoulders up by your ears and then down away from your ears. Do that a few more times. Shrug your shoulders up and down and up and down. And then cross your arms, bring your right arm underneath your left. You can grab opposite shoulder. And let your elbows just kind of move a little bit side to side. And you can bring your gaze with you and let your upper body kind of rock a little side to side. Okay, then bend your knees and bring your right leg up and over your left. And then drop your knees to the left as your shoulders drop a bit to the right. And the movement might be minimal. And that's to be expected with some of these small movements. Bring your knees and elbows back to center and let them drop in opposite directions, knees to the right, elbows to the left. And then back through center, we'll switch it out. So uncross your legs, uncross your arms, and bring your left arm under your right, grab opposite shoulder. Let your elbows kind of reach a little bit side to side. Notice where you might feel a stretch or where you might feel resistance. Let your gaze move with your shoulders. As you come back through center, you'll now bring your left leg up and over your right like eagle legs. Let your knees drop over towards the right. You might have to shift your hips a little to the left. Let your elbows drop to the left. You can let your gaze go with your elbows. And then come back through center. And then other side, you might have to shift your hips a little right. Let your knees fall left. Let your elbows fall as much as possible to the right. It might not be very far. And come back through center. Unwind everything. Stretch your left leg out in front of you. Hug your right knee in. You can interlace your hands around the front of your shin. Give your knee a good squeeze. And then rotate your ankle. Make circles with your foot in one direction. And then the other. Notice any cracking or popping or any clicking that you feel in your ankle. Give that knee one last squeeze. And then switch out your legs. Hug your left knee in, lengthen your right leg out in front of you. Give that left knee a good squeeze. Interlace your hands in the front of your shin. And then rotate your ankle in one direction, about 3 or 4 times. And then in the other direction, another 3 or 4 times. Noticing any resistance or clicking or popping. And then hug both knees into your chest. Take a little gentle rock side to side to massage your low back. And then hands behind your thighs. Rock the length of your spine a few times. To come all the way up through, we'll make our way into a tabletop position. So as you come up, come onto all fours. And this is where if you have sensitive knees or if your surface is a little bit hard, you might bring a folded blanket or a pillow underneath your knees. From your tabletop, you start with your shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and then we'll start to move the hips and the ribs in some circles. So as you start to shift your hips back towards your heels, you can kind of go from one side all the way to the other side, and then bring your ribs forward towards your forearms. Take a few circles in this direction. Allow for some movement in your spine here too. So you might kind of arch through your low back as you press back. And then through your upper back as you come forward. And now we'll switch directions. So start to shift the other way first and back. Allow for your hips and your ribs to move. Creating big circles. Check in with your breath and just make sure you're breathing nice, long, full breaths. We'll come back to center. Now for toes pose, to stretch the bottoms of the feet, curl your toes under and sit back on your heels. Now we don't often stretch the bottoms of our feet, so you might feel this a lot. And if you're only feeling it in your big toes, try to shift your weight across all 10 toes. So you're feeling some stretch in the bottoms of your feet. We have 4 layers of muscles and tendons in the soles of the feet. Now, if it's too much to sit all the way back towards your heels, you can bring some weight forward onto your hands, and that's a good place to use a block underneath your hands, just to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Otherwise, you can always stay more back on your heels and also feel some stretch here in your thighs. We'll take a few more breaths here in our toes pose. Find a sense of ease in your shoulders, your face. One more big breath. Good, then come back forward onto your hands, uncurl your toes, tap the tops of your feet on your mat. Little taps. Good, then wiggle out your toes. Good, now you have the tops of your feet down. We're going to come to standing on the knees. So again, if you need to pad your knees, do so. Come all the way up. Bring your arms straight out to your sides. Hug your fingers in so your thumbs are up towards the sky. Good, now we're going to round through the upper back. Tuck your chin, send your hips back as you rotate your thumbs down. And then we come all the way back up. Rotate the thumbs up as you rise back up. Do that a few more times. Round through your upper back, start to turn your thumbs down, tuck your chin, send your hips back, and then rise back up. Notice the rotation here of your shoulders. Do this one more time as you send your hips back, thumbs come down, head comes down, and then rise back up. Thumbs up. Good, then release your hands. We'll come back through our tabletop. Keep your hips over your knees, and then start to walk your hands forward into a puppy pose, or sometimes called melting heart pose. So as you walk your hands forward, let your chest drop down towards your mat, and then your forehead or your chin comes down onto the mat. If your shoulders are tight, you can bend your elbows and bring them back a bit. Let your belly be soft, soften the space between your shoulder blades. Good, then maybe sway your hips a little bit, side to side, like you're wagging your tail. Your little puppy who's excited, just a little wag of your tail. Good, then start to press into your hands to rise back up. Now bring your knees wide with your big toes to touch. Send your hips back towards your heels into a child's pose. Bring your torso down. You can start with your arms forward, but then bring your palms together and bring your thumbs to the back of your neck to get a stretch for your triceps, the back of your upper arms. Notice where you feel this the most. You might feel a good stretch in your inner legs. If this is too much compression in your knees, you can always keep a little space between your hips and your heels. You could even bring a pillow or a block between your hips and heels. Always honor what your body needs. Take one more deep, full breath. Exhale it all out. Bring your hands back to your mat. Press into your hands to lift your hips away from your heels. Bring your knees back towards each other so they're about hip width apart. You might walk your hands forward a little bit here, about a handprint perhaps. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips into downward facing dog. And as you come into downward dog, take your time here. You might bend one knee and then the other. Check in with the backs of your legs. How are those hamstrings today? How are your calf muscles? Let your head be heavy. Think about lifting your ribs off of your arms and push some weight from your hands back towards your feet. If the backs of your legs are tight, you can always bend your knees a little bit here to find a little more lift of your tailbone. Exhale all of your breath. Inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, start to walk your feet forward towards your hands into ragdoll, our first forward fold. Keep your feet at least hip width apart. Let your head be heavy here. And you can even take your hands and interlace them at the back of your head so your thumbs are on those little kind of knobs here at the bottom of your skull. And give a little traction for your neck. You can keep as deep of a bend in your knees as you need. And then release your hands. You can either keep your feet wide or bring your big toes to touch with just a gap between your heels. Bend your knees, engage your glutes, and then come all the way up to standing. Good, and when you come up, take a moment to roll your shoulders back. Interlace your hands at your low back. Press your palms towards each other. Press your knuckles down to lift your heart up for a chest expansion. So broaden through your collarbones. You might look up to open up your throat. Keep this broadness in your chest. Slowly start to hinge at your hips. As you fold forward, let your hands, your knuckles start to reach up towards the ceiling as you drop your head down towards your mat. Good, then a little more bend in your left knee. Let your hands move a bit left. Your gaze move to the right. And then switch that out. Straighten your left leg. Slight bend in your right knee. Let your hands move a bit right. Your gaze a bit left. And then back through center. Release your hands to your shins. So you're in a halfway lift. Nice flat back here. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Good, then fold forward. Grab your block. And then you'll place your block on your mat. You'll place your block at the top of your mat. I'm going to place mine so that I can be facing you for this. And then come all the way up to standing. Now I mentioned strength as part of Yoga to Thrive. We do want to maintain our muscle mass, our joint stability, and our bone density. So it's always good to add in some things to your yoga practice to increase your strength. So we are going to do some balance with some strength. So you can do this either with your right foot flat on the floor or with your right foot either on a wide, kind of big, sturdy book or on a yoga block. So as you come to standing on the block, you might bring your hands to your hips just to give yourself that sense of balance. And then flex your left toes, lift your foot off the mat. Now from here, pulse your leg out to the side. So as you can see, we're working with balance and then also with strengthening this outer left leg and also strengthening and working on balance and all those stabilizer muscles in your right leg because we're balancing on something. Now, if it's more balanced for you to have your arms out to the side, that's an option too. How big or how high you lift your leg is totally up to you. You can stay a little closer, but keep your leg engaged by keeping your foot flexed. We'll take 2 more here. Good, then release down off of your block. Shake out your leg. Good, and then we'll do the other side. So now you step your left foot up onto your block. Bring your hands in whatever position felt most stable for you. Flex your right toes, engage through your leg, and start to lift your leg out to the side. Now we all have different flexibility and range of motion. So again, your leg could stay close. You could do this with your left foot on the floor if the balance is too much. You could also move towards a wall and bring one hand against the wall as you pulse your leg. Feel the engagement through both legs. You've got all the stabilizer muscles working in your standing leg and your adductors and abductors working in your leg that's lifting. Keep your toes flexed, press through your heel to stay really engaged through your leg to help support your movement. Take 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Come down off of your block. You might shake out your legs a bit. You can also move your block off to the side for now. We will use it again, so I would recommend keeping it towards the top of your mat. Good, then from standing at the top of your mat, you can reach your arms up. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward. Either swan dive or you can bring your hands to your heart as you hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, and now bend your knees a bit. Step your left foot back so you're in a lunge with your right foot forward. Now you can lower your left knee down to your mat. Pause here. Walk your hands up onto your left or your right thigh. Drive your left hip forward. Pull your right hip crease back. So you get some stretch here for your front of your left hip flexors. Good, you might draw your shoulder blades a little more towards each other. Press your hips forward. Good, now bring your left hand down. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then back towards the back of your mat. And circle your arm all the way around. So then reach forward, up, back. Keep hugging your legs towards each other, your inner thighs. So you keep that right hip hugging in. The next time your arm comes all the way up, we'll switch direction of the circles. Reach forward, and then down and back. You can let your gaze kind of follow your hand, if that feels okay on your neck. Notice any clicking, popping, any resistance in your shoulder. Finding some mobility here in the shoulder. Good, and then bring your hands down. Curl your left toes under, lift your knee, look forward, and then step your left foot back to meet your right at the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Tadasana, rise all the way up, reach your arms up, lengthen through your side body, stay nice and rooted and strong in your legs. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Good, now step your right foot back, so you're in a lunge with your left leg forward. Lower your right knee. You can always pad your knee if you need it. Maybe even just fold the edge of your mat over. And then walk your hands up onto your left thigh. You can either have your right toes curled under or the top of your foot down, whatever feels more stable in your body. But drive that right hip a little more forward in line with your left so that you feel some stretch in your hip flexors, the front of that right hip. Good, one more breath here. Bring your right hand down, and you can use a fist, or you can even bring a block underneath your hand to bring the floor a little closer. And for our twist, reach your left arm up. For our rotations of our shoulders, start to reach your arm back. You can let your gaze go with your hand. And then down and forward, up and back. Notice any of that clicking, popping, resistance that you might have in your shoulder. The next time your arm comes all the way back up, we'll switch direction of the circle. So now reach forward first, then down and around. One more time in this direction. Good, then when next time your arm comes up, you can look forward, release your hand down. Now this time we'll step the left foot back and come all the way down onto your stomach on your mat. With your hands underneath your shoulders, point your toes, press into the tops of your feet. Take 3 rolling cobras. On your inhale, engage your back muscles, press into the tops of your feet, lift your heart away from the mat. Keep lengthen your neck. Your hands are there more to traction your ribs forward. Your back muscles are doing the work to lift. Now on your next exhale, you'll lower about halfway. Inhale, lift. Press into the tops of your feet. Good. Exhale, lower about halfway. Inhale, lift. You might even float your hands, draw your shoulder blades towards each other for 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way back down. Press into your hands to lift up, and then we'll come back to child's pose for a moment. So bring your knees wide, big toes to touch, and sink your hips back towards your heels. Bring your torso forward. Arms can reach forward, or if you liked that tricep stretch, you can bring your palms together, thumbs to the back of your neck. Take a nice deep full breath. Exhale, let it go. One more big breath just like that. Bring your hands forward, press into your hands. Make your way back through a tabletop. Good, then walk your hands forward. Curl your toes under, lift your hips to downward facing dog. Good, you might take a little bit of movement here to settle into your downward dog. Push into your knuckles, your hands, the space in between your thumb and your first finger. Exhale your breath. Inhale, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. You might take a little movement here. Maybe you rotate your foot a couple times in each direction. Maybe bend your knee to open your hip, but keep equal weight in your hands. Good, then lengthen your leg, level out your hips. Exhale, step your foot all the way to your right thumb. And if it ever doesn't make it all the way there, use your hand behind your calf, lift your foot, and bring it forward. Good, then from here, plant your left foot and rise up for warrior one. So as you're coming up, you might take a pit stop with your hands at your hips. Just encourage that left hip to drive forward and pull the right hip crease back. Now we're all different in our anatomy and our flexibility. So if it feels difficult to do that, you might bring your right foot a little more right. Then lunge into your right knee by pressing into that outer edge of your left foot. Now reach your arms up overhead. As you reach, let your side bodies lengthen. Reach through your fingertips. Soften the tops of your shoulders. Lunge a little deeper into your right knee. Take a big breath in. Exhale, airplane your torso. Bring your heart forward, your arms back, palms face down. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other and draw your pinkies towards each other and feel how that engages through your upper back and your upper arms. Now we'll move between those two movements with our breath. Inhale, rise back to your regular warrior one. Exhale, airplane torso. Broaden your collarbones. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane torso. Inhale, warrior one. Now pause. Hold here. Your torso stays where it is. Now you sweep your arms back. Interlace your hands at your low back. Press your palms together. Press your knuckles down towards your left heel to lift your heart and broaden your collarbones for chest expansion. You can look up. Press down through your knuckles. Keep this lift of your heart, and on your exhale, start to hinge at your hips for humble warrior. We fold to the inside of the right leg. Let your head be heavy. Hug that right hip in towards your midline. Squeeze your inner thighs. Press your knuckles towards the sky. Now, if this doesn't work, this grip isn't working for you, you can release the grip and just reach your fingertips up. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to your mat. Look forward. Step your left foot in a bit, and then lift your left leg. So we're in a standing splits. Now look back at your left toes. Point your pinky toe down towards the mat just as much as your big toe. Lift up and out of your right hip. If you need to bring the floor a little closer to you, use a block underneath your hands. Good, now we're going to add that strength component again. Squeeze your hamstrings and glutes and start to pulse your left leg up towards the ceiling. Press through your heel, flex your toes to keep your leg engaged as you pulse. Now again, we're working both legs because the standing leg is balancing and we're engaging the glutes and hamstrings of the pulsing leg. Pulse for 3, 2, 1. Now pause. turn your left toes to the left. So you kind of open that hip a little bit. That might mean you bring your hands a little more forward. Now from here, pulse your leg again. Working more in that outer hip and glutes with the foot flexed and the toes to the left. Continue to pulse. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now turn your toes back down. Step your left foot to meet your right, so you end up in a forward fold. And now you can fold over your legs, head heavy. Take a big full breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine, draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, plant your hands. Step to a high plank. Top of a push-up position. Good. Press the mat away with your hands. Keep your hips level with your shoulders. Puff up that space between your shoulder blades. Broaden your collarbones. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. From your downward dog, exhale all of your breath. Inhale, lift your left leg. Find some movement, maybe in your foot, your ankle, by rotating your foot. Maybe you bend your knee to open your hip, but press equally into your hands. Re-lengthen your leg, level out your hips. Exhale, step your foot all the way to your left thumb. And if it doesn't quite make it, you can always use your hand behind your calf to drive your foot forward. For warrior 1, plant your back foot. Slowly rise up. You might take that pit stop with your hands at your hips. Encourage your right hip to drive a little more forward. Left hip crease to pull back a bit. If you need a little more space, bring your left foot a little more left. Then reach your arms up, biceps by your ears. Spiral your pinkies slightly in towards each other. Press into the outer edge of your right foot to lunge a little deeper into your left knee. Good, take a big breath in. Exhale, airplane your torso. Bring your heart forward, arms back. Reach out through your fingertips, palms down. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other so you're super engaged in your upper back and upper arms. Now we'll move through that with breath. Inhale, reach back up, lift your torso. Exhale, airplane your torso. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, airplane torso. Inhale, warrior 1. Pause. Keep your heart lifted this time. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Interlace your hands. Maybe the opposite interlace this time. So your opposite thumb ends up on top. For chest expansion, press your knuckles down towards your right heel to lift your heart. Broaden your collarbones, look up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hinge at your hips, humble warrior. Fold to the inside of your left leg. Reach your knuckles up towards the sky. Let your head reach down towards the floor. Keep that left hip hugging in towards your midline. Good, and again, if this grip doesn't work, reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. One more big breath. Release your grip, bring your hands down to your mat, look forward, step your right foot in a bit, and then for standing splits, lift your right leg. Think about lifting up and out of your left hip, gaze back at your right toes to make sure that pinky toe is pointing down towards the mat just as much as your big toe. Good, then for our pulses, you can always bring a block underneath your hands to bring the floor a little closer. Start to lift your left leg higher up towards the ceiling. Feel that engagement in your hamstrings, and your glutes. You'll also feel your standing leg working. Keep your leg engaged by pressing out through your heel and flex your toes. Make sure you're breathing. Little pulses, they can be big or little. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Turn your right toes out to the right. Your hands might have to come a little more forward. And then we start to pulse your leg up again. So targeting a little different area now. Probably still feeling those glutes a lot, but also your outer hip. Still feeling that left leg, I'm sure. Keep your legs super engaged. Flex your toes. Press through your heel. For 5. Last 3, 2, 1. Turn your toes back down. Step your right foot to meet your left in a forward fold. Relax your head. Exhale all of your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step to a high plank position. Pause. Engage through your legs. Press your mat away. Puff up that space between your shoulder blades, but then at the same time, broaden your collarbones. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice big full breath in. Big breath out. Inhale through your nose. Bottom of your exhale, step or a little hop of your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. Now you can stay facing the top of your mat for this. I'm going to face you for this pose to give you a better view. We're working into another balance pose with tree pose. Okay, so to set up for tree pose, we're going to start with your right foot as your foundation, toes point straight forward. Start by just lifting your left knee in line with your hip, flex your toes. Good, now hands can come to your hips, they could come to your heart, they could come out to the side. We're going to draw the left knee to the left, forward, to the left, forward, to the left. Now use your hands to help you. Bring the sole of your left foot into your inner right leg. Now it could be either above or below your knee. Just avoid pressing your heel directly into your knee. You want to be either above or below the knee joint. Your arms could either stay or you might take an arm variation. I like to reach my arms down to give me more of a sense of being grounded. Lengthen your right toes. Press into all 4 corners of your right foot. That's the big toe mound, the little toe mound, both sides of your heel. Press your left foot into your right leg and your right leg into your left foot. Good. Grow nice and tall through your spine. Bring your hands back to your heart. Point your knee forward. Release your foot down. Now you might shake out your legs a little bit. And we'll move to tree pose on the other side. So lengthen your left toes. Bring your hands wherever you choose. It could be at your heart, on your hips, out to the sides. Lift your left knee in line with your hip, flex your toes. Now bring your right knee out to the right, to center, to the right, to center, to the right, pause. And then you might use your hand to help you. Bring your foot to the inside of your left leg. Now it might be above the knee, it might be below the knee. If you're just working on balance, you could even have your toes on the mat with your foot, sole of your foot against your ankle. So wherever works for you on this side. And then maybe you take an arm variation. You might reach your arms up towards the sky to find a little more lift through your side bodies, like you're lifting out of your waist. Good, you might open your right knee a little more to the right. Push your foot into your leg and your leg back into your foot. Feel all those stabilizer muscles working. And you might have one side that's easier to balance than the other side. You might feel a little shaky. I do today. Good, then hands back to your heart, knee forward, release your foot, shake it out. We usually do have days that our balance is better than others. So if that was challenging for you, that's good. It means you pushed yourself a little out of your comfort zone. It's good to challenge ourselves. Okay, so from here, we can come back to the top of your mat if you're not already there. Reach your arms up. Good, big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring your fingertips all the way down. Start to bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees. Come into a little squat. And then come all the way to seated. And you can use your hands to help walk yourself down. Then from our seat, a little bit of core work here with boat pose Navasana. So check in that you're nice and rooted through your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Hands behind your thighs. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your heart. Lift your feet. So keep your heart lifted. Keep your shoulder blades working towards each other. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you want more, reach your arms forward with your palms up. If you want more, straighten your legs. Keep your heart lifted. Keep those shoulder blades working towards each other. Make sure you're breathing. Hold in this isometric. You might be shaking a little bit. That's good. That's all those muscles working, getting stronger, pushing yourself past your comfort zone. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Hands back behind your thighs. Release your heels. Sit up nice and tall again. Bring your hands to your heart. I like to do a hand over a fist. Keep your heart lifted. Now we'll row our boat to get into the side bodies. Exhale, bring your right elbow back behind you. Come back to center. Exhale to the other side. Center, twist, center, twist. The further you bring your elbow back, the harder this will be. Exhale as you twist. I like to find a pause at center. You might move a little faster, but move with intention. If you want to make this more challenging, you lift your heels and keep twisting. But if you lift your heels, keep your hips nice and stable and steady as you twist. Use your breath. Take 2 more to each side. Back to center. Release your heels. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Reach your arms forward and lower all the way down to your back. Take a big full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead, your legs out long, let your back arch. Take a couple of nice long inhales and exhales. Good, then release your arms, bend your knees, roll onto either side. I'm just going to roll onto my left so I can still be facing you here. You can either prop your head up so you're on your elbow, or you can rest your head all the way down onto your bottom arm. Your front arm comes in front of you to provide some stability. Bend your knees. If they're not already, bring your knees and your feet together. Good, now for our clamshells, we're gonna lift the top knee and lower it back down. So lift and lower, keep your feet together, and keep your hips stacked, one over the other. Feel the engagement. How high you lift your knee might depend on your anatomy, your flexibility. Just feel that engagement in your leg. Good, we have about 5 more on this side. Last 3, 2, and 1. Always being nice and intentional with your movement. Now for you, you can just roll to your other side. I'm gonna just shift around here so I can still be facing you. Come on to your other side. And again, you could either prop your head up on your hand with your elbow down, or you can have your head all the way down on your arm. Your opposite arm comes out in front of you as support so you can keep those hips nice and stacked. Bend your knees, knees together, feet together. Then start to lift and lower your top knee. And you might find right away that maybe one side is a little bit different than the other side. Always observe how things are in this moment without any judgment. Just observing maybe some differences that you might have. Keep those hips stacked. Notice how high you can lift with keeping the feet together. Good, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your knee all the way down. Now you'll press into your hand and make your way all the way up. Now we've been doing a lot of work. Now we get to stretch it out a little bit. So let's stretch out those outer hips with deer pose, which is a yin yoga pose. Bring your right shin parallel to the short edge of your mat, the top of your mat. Bend your left knee to bring it behind your right heel. Now I like to always kind of use my hands to shift so I can get nice and rooted in that right sit bone. You can also kind of roll that right thigh back. So your left sit bone may or may not be completely down on the floor, but you do want that right sit bone to be nice and rooted down into your mat. Use your hands to help you to sit up nice and tall. And then we'll slowly start to walk forward, either directly over your knee. Those of us tighter in the hips, that might be enough of a stretch for us. If you're not feeling much of a stretch in that outer right hip and you want a little bit more, you can lift up, shift yourself a little bit more over your shin, and then walk yourself forward over your shin. Either way, we want to be able to relax through the shoulders and rest your head on something. So you might be able to maybe stack your hands or fists and rest your head on that. Or you might need a block or a pillow so that you can relax your shoulders, soften your face, and tap into your breath. Notice where you feel this the most. I'm hoping you're feeling some stretch in your outer right hip. You might also feel some stretch in your inner legs, and you might feel a stretch in your low back. For today, we'll hold this pose for a total of 3 minutes on each side. Now, oftentimes in a full yin practice, a full hour of yin, I would hold this in deer pose for 5 minutes on each side. So if you have the time and you want to pause this video and take a couple extra minutes in each side, you are more than welcome to do that if you have the time. Otherwise, we're just over halfway on this side. At this halfway point, Maybe you're not feeling as much sensation anymore in your outer hips, so maybe if you're more over your knee, use your hands to lift your torso and then come more over your shin. If you're still feeling enough sensation, you don't need any more, you can stay exactly where you are. Notice anywhere that you're holding on to tension. Can you soften your face, shoulders? Take nice, long, deep, full breaths to help your body and your mind drop into our natural state, our parasympathetic nervous system, that state of rest and digest. One more deep, full breath. Good, then press into your hands to lift your torso up. Now you'll bring both of your legs forward. You use your hands to help you. Bring your legs forward. Pause here for a moment. Bring your feet wide. Lean back on your hands. You can always gently let your knees fall a little side to side, but move really slowly and gently. You might notice one side feels a bit different than the other side. Let's even that out. Come back through center. Bring that left shin parallel to the short edge of your mat. Bend your right knee behind your left heel. You might take a moment to rearrange to get that left sit bone all the way down. Flex your left toes a bit towards your knee. Just give some engagement in your ankle, helps protect protect your knee joint. And then slowly start to walk yourself forward, maybe directly over your knee, maybe even a little further to that left side. Or if you're feeling a little more open, you need a little more sensation, or you want a little more sensation, you can fold more over your shin. Pick the place that works for you, gives you a really good stretch in that outer left hip. And again, you might feel it other places too, maybe your inner legs, maybe your low back. You do want to be able to relax your upper body as much as you can. So you might stack one hand on the other, rest your forehead on that. Or you could use a block or a pillow. Send your awareness and your breath to wherever you're feeling this pose the most. Notice if this side is different than your other side. Where can you soften? If your jaw feels tense, open and close your mouth a few times, leave your lips slightly parted. We are at that halfway point, so those of you maybe more over your knee, you might lift up and bring your torso a bit more over your shin, but only if you need more. More doesn't always mean better. If it feels like the sensation is not dissipating at all, you might have gone a little too far to start. You might need to back out a little bit. So maybe it's even coming a little more left. So our goal here is to work with those denser connective tissues. So the muscles need to be relaxed so that we can access our fascia, our ligaments, our tendons. And that's also the reason for these longer holds. Is those tissues have less water content than our muscles. So we need a long, steady hold. One more deep, full breath. Good, press into your hands, lift up. If you did on the other side and you wanted to pause the recording, spend a couple more minutes there, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, when you come up, bring your legs forward. You can lean back on your hands. Bring your feet nice and wide. Gently rock your knees a little bit side to side. Be gentle. Just notice if you feel maybe a little more even now. Good, then before you lower to your back, you do want to make sure you have something next to you that you can support under your hips. It could either be a block, or if you don't have a yoga block, you could use a pillow. And then shift your hips forward with your knees bent, lower your back all the way down to your mat. Take a moment here to bring your feet wide, let your knees fall into each other, and take a few breaths in this neutral position. You might tuck your shoulder blades, rest your hands either on your body or down by your side. Nice deep full breaths. Good, then bring your feet so they're hip width apart. For supported bridge pose, check in with your shoulder blades again that they're tucked nicely underneath you. Then press into your feet, lift your hips up. If you're using a block, I recommend starting with its lowest height. Bring your block underneath your sacrum. If you're using a pillow, it needs to be a pretty dense pillow, or fold it in half and bring that underneath your hips. And let your hips rest down onto your support. If you're using a block, just be sure it's not pressing into your low back. It's underneath that triangular bone there at the back of your pelvis. Tuck your shoulder blades again. Arms down by your sides. Gaze straight up at the ceiling. Lengthen the back of your neck. So notice if you're lifting your chin a lot. If so, pull your chin towards your throat. And breathe. Let your hips be heavy on your block or your pillow. This is a supported pose, a supported back bend. So if you wanted to spend more time here today, you could always pause the recording, pause the video, spend more time here than what we are going to spend, just for interest of time today. If you're choosing not to spend extra time, now you'll grab your block, lift your feet, send your legs straight up towards the ceiling into legs up the wall pose. Now you might have to bump your hips up a little bit more onto your block, arms down by your sides. Once you have that nice stable position, lengthen the back of your neck, look straight up at the ceiling or your toes. If you're feeling a lot of pressure behind your knees, you can find a little micro bend in your knees, or a deeper bend if you need it. Take 3 more nice deep full breaths. Bend your knees, bring your feet all the way down to your mat. Press into your feet, lift your hips off of your prop, move that off to the side. Lower your hips back down to the floor. Bring your feet wide for a moment, knees into each other. Let's take a moment here to come back to a nice neutral position. And there is no rush at all, but whenever you feel ready, if your low back feels fine, you can stretch your legs out in front of you, come back to Shavasana, back to where we started our practice today. Let your body completely relax into your mat. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Now notice if there's anywhere in your body that still feels tense. If that's the case, let's tense up even more. Engage through your body. Press down into everything. Make fists with your hands. Press into your arms. Get super, super tense. Maybe even tense your face. And then relax. Sometimes when we have muscles that can't let go, we need to engage them even more to then help them relax. So if you still feel tense, do that one more time. Super tense, super press down into everything. Make fists. And then release. Close your eyes and focus on any sensations that you still feel in your body. Notice anything that's standing out or not. Anything that maybe feels good. I'll be quiet for a few more breaths to give you time to do that. Don't get a lot of opportunities to be still and silent, so if you want more time here, please take it. If you do need to move on with your day, wiggle your fingers, your toes, roll your ankles and your wrists. Take a big full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead, your legs out long in front of you. Good, then bend your knees. You can either roll to your side or you can roll straight up to seated. If you roll onto your side, use your bottom arm as a pillow for a moment. And then as you feel ready, press into your free hand to rise all the way up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. Let's close out with one more breath together. You might bring your hands to your heart. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale all of your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Thank you for joining me for this Yoga to Thrive class. I hope to see you again soon.